And now, the world's most exciting podcast, The Savage Nation, home of borders, language, culture. Here he is, Michael Savage.
Welcome to the Savage Nation Coffee Talk. Coffee with Savage. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's not a good morning. It's actually a terrible morning. Normally, I don't watch TV in the morning. I try to avoid the news altogether. I try to read it and think about it. I don't want to see what the talking heads have to say about it. I don't know about you. But I was getting dressed, and I put on the TV, and there it was. Bernie Sanders, the absolute naked communist. He's a spy, a double agent, a plant. And I said, why am I saying this? There's an AI conference, and this Bernie Sanders is arguing with that dirty, filthy, disgusting mouth of his. Well, we need cooperation. We need full cooperation, international cooperation. What he wants to do is make sure that China dominates us in AI and destroys us. He's a known communist. He's been a communist, a lifetime communist. So I said to myself, I'm going to start with Bring Back HUAC, House of Un-American Activities Committee, immediately. And bring Sanders before that panel immediately and prove once and for all his deep ties to the communist movement, the international communist movement. You could hear it in everything he does. You could see it in the spittle that comes out of his mouth, in the dirty fingers that he uses. He's an evil man, I said to myself. And I'm sharing it with you today on the Savage Nation. It's disgusting to see that a man who is such an overt subversive, who's poisoned the minds of millions of people with his lie about democratic socialism. There's no such thing. I read it to you 1,000 times. I read you from Mao's Little Red Book, where he talks about democratic socialism as a step to socialism and then naked communism. That means rounding people up like you and killing you. It can't happen here? No, it can't happen here, right? It's only in the minds of us right-wingers that this could happen. Well, I wish we had a government of the people, by the people, and for the people who would immediately grab Bernie Sanders and throw him into, arrest him for subversion. There's a thing called subversives. He's a subversive. Worse than that, he's a double agent. He has been his whole life. Coffee Talk, Bring Back HUAC, arrest Sanders. I agree with him. Whoever said that. Oh, I said it right. I'm joking. So this is Michael Savage, and it's Savage with Coffee, Coffee with Savage. And that's the big news story to me. That is the big news story to me. I'll go on the different sites with you this morning, and we'll talk about it. Remember, many of you don't know when I'm going to appear, because I don't know when I'm going to appear. I try to do this. I'm doing it this week, like every morning. I'm testing it out. I don't know if I want to do this any longer after tomorrow. And many of you don't know how to get me. You hit the red subscriber button on YouTube, red subscribe button on YouTube. Then check the bell icon and select all notifications, and you'll be notified when I'm live, okay? Because I don't have a fixed time. It's that simple. Let's go to the sites and see what's in the news as I look down the barrel of a microphone and share my views with yous. I'm using the capsule coffee now. I gave up with the French roast, or the drip and the dish. I can't take it. Many of you asked, where can we get the liberalism is a mental disorder cup? Well, you can still buy them because Bernie Sanders' party is not in power. I can guarantee you these cups will be made illegal. Do you know that this book, Liberalism is a Mental Disorder, was banned in Europe? The European Union banned that book when it came out as a hate book. Just the title alone, I swear to God. We're talking 20 years ago, so don't think I'm new to the game.
Savage. Michael Savage, a host like no other.
Okay, let me tell you something. Gold is gold. In the world of fake news, fake science, fake everything, nobody has ever said, don't give me that gold coin. Never. It's a universal language. You could take that coin to China, Japan, anywhere on earth, and they know exactly what it's worth. Now, here's what's happening that you need to understand. For 50 years, every barrel of oil on earth was priced in U.S. dollars. That monopoly is what made the dollar king. But after decades of reckless spending by both parties, $39 trillion in debt, the rest of the world has had enough. That's why China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, 40 countries are dumping the dollar and buying gold at the fastest pace in 60 years. You heard me right. The people with the money printers are trading their paper for gold. That should tell you everything. I own gold. I've owned it since it was $900 an ounce. I practice what I preach, and I don't think we've peaked, and I'm not alone. Jim Rickards is calling for $27,000 an ounce? What? Goldman Sachs says $10,000 an ounce? Look, I don't really know what it's going to be, but I think it's going up. I'm bullish on gold. Our friends at American Alternative Assets put together a free report called The Dollar Reset. That explains exactly what's happening to the dollar and how to protect yourself. Go to getsavagegold.com or call 855-GOLD-099. Please go to getsavagegold.com or 855-GOLD-099. Please, once again, go to getsavagegold.com or simply call 855-GOLD-099. Getsavagegold.com or call 855-GOLD-099. I'm bullish on gold. Let's pray for America, and let's protect what we've earned. Please go to getsavagegold.com or call 855-GOLD-099. Getsavagegold.com or 855-GOLD-099. So Bernie Sanders wants us to share our knowledge of AI with China, who never met a treaty they didn't break. Wow. Global communism is a real threat, but you can't tell that to the potheads. They don't know what the hell they're doing to begin with, which is why they've legalized marijuana. And I say legalize it, don't demonize it, but don't legitimize it. It's a dangerous drug. And I don't want to talk about it. Just study the medical literature. Well, I don't believe in medical literature. No, you don't believe in scholarship, nothing. Believe in nothing. So let's go to some sites together. Let's begin with, it doesn't really matter which website I go on first for the news. I'll go to the New York Post. I kind of like it. Dark Horse Rises. Eye-opening governor poll shows Gavin Newsom favorite, breaking away from PAC. Who's his favorite? Let's see who his favorite is. Becerra, another left-wing lunatic, corrupt. Pardon me, didn't say that. Oh, my God. Xavier Becerra. Look how nice he looks in a tie and white shirt. You'd think he's a legitimate straight guy. The former Health and Human Services Secretary under President Biden was polling in the single digits, but rapidly racked up support after Eric Swalwell quit the race. The new poll, which surveyed 1,000 likely voters, showed Republican Chad Bianco and Democrat billionaire Tom Steyer receiving 40%, Democrat Katie Porter, Matt Mahan trailing at 8 and 7. Becerra, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Had the highest favorability with 72% of them, 40 overall. Okay. It's the machine. It's the Nancy Pelosi machine candidate. And if you like railroads to nowhere and you like corruption on every level of government, hey, you got your boy there. You got your boy there. It's sickening. It's just like Boardwalk Empire in California. Only instead of Nucky Thompson, we have this going on here. Ex-Minnesota State Trooper reveals how state tried to cover up fraud allegations, then Waltz shut down his department. Waltz is Nucky Thompson. See, well, I don't really like to watch reruns, but I got obsessed in the last week or so watching Boardwalk Empire, which I didn't like when it originally came out in 2012 or whatever, because I don't think Buscemi is believable as a tough guy runs the New Jersey mob. He's a fine actor, but not in this role. Nevertheless, that's irrelevant. But the corruption that is shown in that show, I remember Scorsese was involved, Mark Wahlberg was involved. A lot of the crew from The Sopranos was involved in the production of this, the high-end production. The writing is awesome in this. It's exactly a mirror of what's going on in Minnesota, for example, in California, in my estimation. Major California city takes drastic action to curb street prostitution. Where? In the state capital? Don't they take jobs as politicians after they're brought off the street? Stockpile of tools taken from Home Depot across SoCal uncovered in unlikely place. Where, in Sacramento, in the basement of the Capitol? Where are the tools? $600,000 worth of tools. Oh, what a country! It's so corrupt. It's so broken down. $600,000 worth of tools taken from Home Depot stores across Southern California. And where was it? The California Highway Patrol Southern Division Organized Retail Crime Task Force. That's a long statement. Launched where is it now? Where was it found? You have to read the whole article and see all the ads till I give the answer. Where are the tools? Oh, authorities have not released the identities of the suspects. Oh, they're not white men. I know that. Can't show them if they're not white men with swastikas on them. Authorities have not released the identities of the suspects. Why not? Oh, the investigation is still active until Nucky Thompson gets a payoff to find out who to throw into the slammer. Where was it found? Where were the tools found? They don't even tell you. You read the whole article. What a rotten journalism. This stinks. Where is it? Suspects' residences. And they don't tell you who the suspects were. And they don't show you, and they don't show them. No. You're liable to put two and two together and not be a dummy any longer once you figure it out. I don't know. Why did they do a story like this? Case coming as surge in organized retail crime across the Golden State. No, it's the stolen state, not the Golden State. They stole it from me. They robbed it. The gangsters took over the state and robbed it. 25,000 arrests tied to organized retail theft operations, along with 190 million in recovered stolen merchandise. Big deal. Big deal. Who are the suspects? Show us who they are. What are their last names? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of the no news. You can't find a true story here. Newsom needs to end the high-speed rail disaster. No, he's doubling down. Supreme Court's ban on racial gerrymandering affects California. I made that headline yesterday. They twisted it. You couldn't even understand what it was. The Supreme Court knocked out racial gerrymandering. All the leftists said that they attacked blacks. Okay. Murdered Mexican beauty queen's mother-in-law busted after fleeing the country. Not interested. California Republican goes scorched earth in Congress over oil Armageddon, crippling the state. I don't even want to read it. High-profile Dem power player spotted at private event for California GOP gubernatorial frontrunner Steve Hilton. You know, I'm going to tell you something about Steve Hilton. He's not going to win. He only became a U.S. citizen in the kind of near past. Number one, I think he was from the UK, and Americans will not vote for anyone with a British accent. Just forget about it. He's not from here. I don't know how the GOP could pick a guy like this. It's money, that's all. Chainsaw Massacre. LeBron James not interested in sports. Goldie Hawn reveals what keeps her 43 relationship with Kurt Russell strong. Ugh. Do you care about Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn? How much did they pay to plant this article? Two aging movie stars. Admittedly, they were okay looking 45, 50 years ago. Do I care what Goldie Hawn looks like today or Kurt Russell? Oh, my God. Country music legend dead at 86. Never heard of him. Chick-fil-A employee accused of stealing $80,000 with mac and cheese scheme. Okay. Inside the battle for Casey Wasserman's agency, it's all anyone in Hollywood is talking about. Don't get me started on the big agencies in LA and who they're run by. Okay? Art of the Con father-daughter duo sold fake Banksys and Warhols to NYC's art houses in $2 million scam. Oh, you mean there's a scam in the art business? You're kidding me. I was told this by an art dealer 50 years ago. Oh, this is horrible. Teacher fired after allegedly twerking in class, grabbing student's neck and calling herself $1 million prostitute. At least they show her. I do have to tell you her race. Twerking in class. Ain't that a cultural thing? New York rabbi found dismembered stuffed in closet after being killed by Colombian gang. It wasn't over stolen Torahs, I can guarantee you. Next. Just the way I think. That's all. Don't get mad at me. It's the immediate. I'm giving you the immediate thoughts. Foolproof. Trump weighing new strikes, touts genius blockade until Iran comes to the table. It's not such a genius blockade. He got into the quicksand on his own. Whoever talked him into it got him into a quicksand here. It's a bad situation. It's only going to get worse. Howard Stern finally reacts to ex-assistant demanding staggering sum in sham lawsuit. Does he get Howard Stern's wig? I would pay $5,000 for a picture of Howard Stern without the wig. How could a Jew in his 70s have a curly hair like that? Why does he wear a wig like that? Minnesota couple and daughter hit with federal charges for allegedly assaulting Turning Point USA reporter. Yeah, nice. Let's see them get convicted. Federal drug agents strike SoCal mansions worth millions in shocking series of surprise raids. The day they were arrested, I'll believe it. What's this? Oh, King Charles is still here? God, go home already. Oh, my God. The stars about King Charles, Queen Camilla, joined by celeb supermodels at swanky Christie's reception, ending whirlwind visit. Go home already. Who asked for you to come here? I'm so anti-royal. I can't get into this royal. The whole country was founded on a revolution against them, and now we're supposed to get on our hands and knees for this inheritance case here. Of course the stars came out. They can't get enough. They all learned to curtsy, all the stars. They kissed the hands of these two losers. What makes them so special? They inherited their titles. They never did a thing for humanity. What the hell is the worship about? Nice King Charles learns the Harvard food as he impresses kids and visit the Harlem farm. Are you kidding me? Harvest food. Let me see my horoscope. I haven't looked at it in years. I used to look at them every day. They were eerie sometimes. Aries, you need to take extra care with your finances as tomorrow's full moon could encourage you to make the kind of moves that will cost you a fortune if they go wrong. Don't take chances with your own or other people's money. I don't invest, so it doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not in the stock market. I'm not in Bitcoin. I'm not in any kind of coinage. None. I'm like it's in the bank in a very low yield thing, whatever. I don't care. I don't want to speculate. The whole thing's going to blow up one day anyway, very soon. Okay, and let's move to the next site now. It's really depressing. Look, the main story is the one I read. Bernie Sanders wants us to be cooperate with the communist Chinese on AI. Bring back UAC, House of Un-American Activities Committee. Try him and fry him and deport him. Or put him in Leavenworth for the rest of his rotten, stinking years. Now what? What's the next site I should go on? Tell me what site I should go on. Tell me one site I should go on where I won't get sick. I don't think I'm going to do this anymore in the morning. I'm trying it for a week to see what effect it has on my life. Looking down the barrel of a microphone the minute I get up after a shower and looking at this melting down nation of mine. Okay, I'll do it. I'll go to the Fox News site. Iran's leader resurfaces with ominous threat to U.S. I thought he was dead 2 weeks ago. They said he was damaged and dead. Iran's leader resurfaces with threat to U.S. Let's see what he said. Let's see what the raghead said. Only place for U.S. in Persian Gulf is bottom of its waters. Okay, they like to talk like that. They all talk tough. The supreme leader of Iran. I don't like that phrase, supreme leader. Supreme leader. What kind of nation has a supreme leader? Ayatollah. Anyone who's called an Ayatollah, reach for your Glock. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Nuclear missile. He said he's going to protect its nuclear and missile capabilities. I know many of you are stupid and say, well, why shouldn't they have nuclear weapons? Because other countries have them too. Israel has them. Yeah, okay. If you can't see the difference between Iran and Israel, then go join the local Nazi party. I'm sure there's a Bund in your neighborhood. Next case. I don't even want to be on that site. Okay, we'll go with one of my best favorite sites, Gateway Pundit. But if they don't cover me soon, I won't mention. Political violence and the willful self-deception of the left, too intellectual. SPLC indictment bolsters the need to pass the Save America Act. Now I don't even know what it is. Does President Trump know that the DOJ's weaponization working group is no longer working? Not interested. Tim Walz gets cooked for hypocrisy, claiming he's against political violence. He's some piece of work. You know, when Tim Walz first appeared on the stage with whatever her name was from San Francisco, Kamala, whatever, you know, everyone was like, you're not pronouncing it right. It's Kamala. It's not Camila. You know, what do I care? She has a weird name. I'll say it the way, you know, what, I'm supposed to read a book on how to pronounce her name because I'm a racist otherwise? Screw you. Seattle socialist mayor laughs at idea of millionaires fleeing the city over new and higher taxes. Schmuck. Barack Obama weighs in on Supreme Court gutting Voting Rights Act by striking down Louisiana's racially gerrymandered map, and it backfired. Obama was naked commie himself his whole life, but a muzzy commie, a double. Trump DOJ ATF unleashed massive Second Amendment overhaul, 34 new reforms / red tape for gun owners, dealers, and small businesses. Okay. Is he gone already, that pest from England? When will he be off our soil already? Florida Democrat Rep. Angie Nixon storms House aisle with pink bullhorns screaming, violation of the Constitution, as DeSantis redistricting map passes. She belongs in a zoo, not in the state hall there. Next site. I did the Post. I did Fox News. I'm almost out of news sites, the Gateway Pundit. I will now go to another great site, Breitbart News. House Dem fantasizes about executing Hegseth after third Trump assassination attempt. Guilty of war crimes like Nazi submarine captains. Rep. Seth Moulton, Democrat, Massachusetts. What an ugly map on him. Look, it's a war for the survival of America. We're in a war. We're in a verbal civil war, somewhat. A little shooting civil war now and again when they try to kill the president and claim they didn't. Stephanopoulos, George Stephanopoulos. How did that survive all these years? You know, if you look in the media at those who survived the longest, they're all tied into the deep state. I don't care whether it's on the right or the left. Whoever has survived this long, they're not that talented. They're tied into the deep state at the highest levels. As they said in The Godfather, the Peasant-Avantes pull the strings on all of them. Schiff. Blanche may be worse than Bondi. He's more competent. Schiff. Put him before HUAC. Put Stephanopoulos before HUAC. There, now I'll start. Now it'll all come together now. Written statement from Iran's missing Supreme Leader vows. I read that. Marlo, why the Comey indictment is both. The Comey indictment, not the Comey. Why the Comey indictment is both legitimate and necessary. I disagree on that one. I think it's a pure vendetta and they should leave him alone already. They know they're not going to win. She put seashells in the ground, which was 86-47 or something. That's not a threat on the president's life. To 86, someone means throw them out of the bar. That's all it ever meant. It didn't mean kill them. So this is a vindictive thing. They shouldn't be doing it to Comey for three reasons. They already indicted him. Okay, he's a former Marine. Give him a little credit for something he did for the nation. This is pure, unadulterated, vindictive behavior, and I'm not happy with it. It's that simple. If you're one of the MAGAites who say, oh, it's good for you. King Charles hails eternal alliance with America. You know, I wonder if the whole trip was simply to drum up aid for Ukraine from the U.S. Because he's all in on money for the in Ukraine. Okay. Oh, God, we're going to give more money to him now? Appeals court rejects Trump's challenge to E. Jean Carroll verdict. What an old hag. What is she doing? Latest migrant caravan in southern Mexico begins to dissolve. Trump 100% closed the borders. I do have a double headache. I had a half a headache when I started this today. And I said, don't do it. I didn't want to do this today. Fashion notes. Melania Trump reigns in Dior haute couture for royal dinner. Well, I'm a fan of her. She could do no wrong for me. She's aging beautifully. Sotomayor suggests DHS cannot end temporary amnesty for Haitians because Trump called Haiti a country. What? Mom's dummy begs state for bailout as historic New York City budget crisis looms. You elected a communist and a fascist from the Islamic world. What did you expect to happen in your city? Federal judge rules against Trump administration efforts to verify Arizona voter data. I wonder why the federal judge out of The Sopranos ruled against any desire to verify Arizona voter data because he's a plant from the gang that runs Arizona. Harvey Weinstein, rape accuser, tells jury he treated me like he owned me. Rosie O'Donnell suggests third Trump assassination attempt was a hoax. She looks really like a man now. She's really come out of the closet. Woo. She's truly become, like they get older, they let it all hang out. She surely looks like an Irish bartender in Queens now. Jimmy Kimmel calls Comey's 8647 post a piece of art your aunt with a beach house would buy on Etsy. Okay, I'm not even going to comment. He's not funny. He has bad writers. Shame on you. London police chief heckled by locals after terror knife attack on Jewish community. This is not a fun story. You bring in the Muslims. What did you expect? What did you expect bringing Somalis into London? Okay. Current governor of Sinaloa, Mexico, to face U.S. drug trafficking charges. I'm shocked. Russia scales back Victory Day parade, fearing Ukrainian drone strikes. It's a new world. Russia's now afraid of Ukraine with drones flying into Moscow. It's a new world. Different war, different warfare. Fed leaves interest rates unchanged, saying economy is expanding at solid pace. Yeah, look at the debt we have. We're not supposed to talk about it anymore. How about tightening the belt? Can't we tell Trump that we elected him to be a fiscal conservative, not a drunk Democrat spender? This is insane. I'm sorry. I don't agree with it. The primary essence of being a conservative is to conserve. And one of the foundations of conservatism is fiscal conservatism, not spending like this. It's insane. We're all going to go down together if this keeps up. Took smiling selfie before assassination. I saw that yesterday. I got a headache from it already. I knew I shouldn't do it this morning. First of all, I went on early today. Ugh. No TV. I only have to read wild lines for my Sunday TV show on Newsmax. You don't know how this is like how the sausage is made. I do the show for my Sunday Newsmax TV show, and then the producers in New York, I ask them to write, like, they're called wild lines. They used to be known as liners in radio. And that pulls all the pieces together because otherwise they're somewhat disconnected because some of them are pulled from 3 different YouTube pieces of mine for the TV show. I'm your host, Michael Savage. Big news this week is President Biden. I like most of you have a lot of questions. So I'm going to be right back, so stay tuned. The problem with these wild lines, I have to wear the outfit I wore for that show, which was not this outfit. I have to go see which outfit I wore for that show. All right, let's go to another site. So last night, listen to this. Last night, I didn't want to cook at home. I didn't want to go to another Sloppy Joe's Chinese or Asian restaurant. I can't stand them anymore. There's something going on with the food. I used to go to a Thai restaurant nearby, and the food's gotten worse and worse and worse. It's sweet. No matter what you say to them, they sweeten it with sugar. And I say to them, make the dish for me without sugar. They say, okay, we can do that one, but we can't do the curry without sugar. It's already in the paste. So I don't get the curry because it's like for children. And it's getting sweeter and sweeter. You could throw up from the food. It's like a creamsicle, the Thai food. So that's because the American people like sweet foods. They're like children. They grew up eating sweets, which is why they have such a high rate of diabetes, etc. I avoid sugar like the plague, and I have my whole life because I discovered when I was 18 that it was the cause of my migraines. So I can't eat that poison anymore. I won't go this. I said, okay, you know what? I think I'm going to go to a beautiful private club. I'm a member of a certain, boating club, and it has reciprocal relations with other boating clubs, which has one of them has a great restaurant with a great chef, and it's a nice upscale place. I said, all right, it's worth it tonight. They're nice people there. There are conservatives mixed in. You're not well known, but you're not unknown. You'll go get a table, you'll sit alone, and they pour a drink there that can knock you on your ass, I'm telling you. It's old school bar. And I usually start with a Kettle One up. And the thing is that when you order they did the shake and they pour in the glass, and then they give you the sidecar for the same money. The sidecar is the ice that melts a little bit with the vodka in it. And I buy it because I like the really cold sidecar. I mean, you get pretty stewed from it. I'll tell you the truth. I don't do this very often. I started at the bar, drinking a little bit, said hello to all the Mexicans in the dining room, said I'll be in soon. They're very nice guys. They like me because I'm like an outsider from another club. And when I come in every few months, I throw money around a little bit, a 10 here, a 20 there. I do. It's old school New York style. I'm not going to remember the money, but to them it means something. It's a token of my appreciation of the fact that they happen to be a waiter or a busboy now, and I happen to be the customer. But at one point, I was the waiter or busboy, and I worked on customers, and I'm down with them, okay? And I like working people. I always have, and I get along with them because I'm from them. The race doesn't matter. It cuts across racial lines, the working thing. Anyway, so I go in. I met some people in there toward the end. Was it the end of the beginning? Toward the end. Family friends, a younger couple. I've known them a long time. And they're my son's age. Beautiful people. So the long and short of it is, I ask about the children. It was very nice. It was like a cycle of unity for me. How the children, well, she's in this grade, that. I said, how was the school over there? Because it's some private school. They said, you won't believe what I'm going to tell you. Our daughter's in a Spanish class, and the teacher doesn't teach her Spanish. She spends the whole class hating on Trump and conservatives in a private school. I said, oh, yeah, that's great. See what I'm saying? The whole class is not teaching them Spanish, but teaching them to hate America and hate Trump. In a private school, no less. Could you imagine? So I started with, first of all, they have very good bread, and I'm a bread lover. I don't know. I didn't ask where they get the bread from, but it's good. And I don't know about you. If I'm going to have a drink like that, like a call it a martini, but I don't put anything in. It's just the vodka on ice. The bread absorbs a little, makes me feel good. No butter, don't need it. The bread itself is delicious. And then I ordered the calamari, but I said, could you please ask the chef? This is an interesting story. It says fried calamari. I know that the calamari is from Monterey. I've asked before. It's not sewer calamari from Vietnam or India, God forbid, or the Ganges River. So I said, could you ask the chef? Maybe he'll make it. I don't make a big deal. It's not like I insist. Can you please? Yeah. So the waiter says to me, how do you want it? I said, look, if he can do it, sauteed, a little white wine, a little lemon, and that's it. So they bring it out. It's sauteed. It's wonderful. I was like real calamari. I love calamari. I always have. You call it squid. I call it calamari or whatever. When I first moved here, I had never eaten it in New York. I never heard of it. When I grew up in New York in the Italian restaurants, I never heard of calamari. I came out here in the 70s. Calamari was very popular. Everyone ate it in the Italian restaurant. It was a different cuisine here. The Italian cuisine was much different here than in New York. It wasn't the heavy, drippy sauce that you could, you couldn't move after you ate it. I like the heavy sauce, once in a while. But anyways, I had that. And then I had another dish. I ate meat last night. I never eat meat. I told you once a month I tried it. Yeah, it's not a big deal one way or the other. The calamari was good. And I had a good time. And I won't go there again for a few months. I can't go there every night and eat like this. I'd be dead in like 2 months. I can't eat that heavily. I can't do it. It's impossible. I don't drink like that every night. I don't eat like that every night. Coffee talk, bring back UAC, arrest Sanders. Let me tell you why I have a hard-on for Sanders. It's a phrase. It's not like I'm attracted to him sexually. I hope you don't take it the wrong way. That's a double joke for those of you who have any sense of humor. As a person of the Jewish faith, Sanders is the type that brought Hitler to power in Germany in the 1920s. The communist Jew. He's like the walking like a textbook picture of the walking communist Jew. Even nice Christians can see through this man, and then they blame all Jews for being like him. All Jews are not communists. All Jews are not leftists. Too many of them are, that's true, but I once said this to an Irishman, that I'm ashamed of the people that I come from who are such communists. He said, yeah, don't be so ashamed. Wait till you meet, have you ever met an Irish communist? And, he set me straight. And by the way, there are Italian communists who are worse than Irish and Jewish communists, Sacco and Vanzetti types. So don't think that it's limited to the Jewish people. It's your own way of attacking Jews. But Sanders is the walking embodiment of the evil communist. And that hand of his, that spittle hand, let me tell you why we need to have a cooperation, international cooperation on IT. We must have international cooperation with China on the thing with AI. And the reason we need to have it on AI is because if we don't all get together on AI, someone is going to dominate from space and we'll all get killed. So I think that we must give all of our secrets to China right away. And I tell you right now, although I look cockeyed and I look like I'm an old Jewish man who ate too much salsa, I'm really a communist plant who should have been indicted a long time ago. Well, you Goyim are so stupid, you don't even know I'm a naked communist. Let me tell you that right now. There it is. You all wanted the Sanders in interpretation.
Savage. Home of borders, language, culture. The Savage Nation.
Well, I'm not Edgar Allan Poe. I'm Michael Savage. I'm not Jimmy Kibble. I'm Michael Savage. Each morning, I try to look down the barrel of a microphone and go through the news and give you some views and reviews. And I have one more site to go on, and then I'll go away. I've been with you about 30 minutes, right? I ate so heavily last night. I have to think about what I'm going to have for breakfast. I'll have an avocado, scallion and avocado with a little bit of good bread that I brought back from last night's dinner, right? I brought the bread, so I'm in business. I'll make a tiny avocado and scallion sandwich with a little, maybe a bit of provolone cheese, maybe not. There's one more site I haven't gone on, one more site for Coffee Talk. Bring back UAC, arrest Sanders. I haven't gone on the Drudge Report. Let's see what he has to say today. Where is it? I have it keyed in here somewhere. Drudge Report 2026, headline. U.S. debt tops 100% of GDP. There, I've been talking about it myself. That doesn't make him a leftist. He's a realist. Oil hits wartime high. That's horrible. No end in sight. New strikes, ground troops. USA seeks to deploy hypersonics for first time. U.S. New York Times says military was losing its edge after Iran. Everyone knows it. Is that true? I don't know. Why can't we end this war? Because you have to destroy the whole country to end it. I guess you got to kill for peace. Why don't you get out your 60s tie-dyes and start dancing to the 60s music again? You got to kill for peace. You got to kill. Amazon discusses Apprentice reboot with Don Jr. as host. Okay, I don't get it. Tucker burns it down, tells Trump you have failed. Tucker Carlson. Louisiana, let's see. Inflation spikes to 3.5%. Too expensive to sell house. I don't know what's going on here with this. Glam JP Morgan exec drug junior employee who she made her sex slave? She made her sex slave? Oh, a Lezo story. I'll look at it. I like those things. Glam JP Morgan executive Lorna Hajdini drugged and abused married junior employee as she made him her office sex slave. Oh, she did a guy. Allegedly coerced a married banker to non-consensual and humiliating sex acts. I don't understand it. What do you mean? How does that work? Allegedly coerced a married banker into non-consensual humiliating sex and threatened his career when he refused her advances, according to a lawsuit. He's suing her? The nympho? He's suing the nympho? The accuser, known only as John Doe, claims he was even verbally abused by Hajdini after he broke down in tears during one of the alleged unwanted sexual encounters. Director of Chase's leveraged finance division. They're all coked up, those people in the finance business. What, that's something new? I knew when I was a kid that most of the people on Wall Street were on coke. What's something new under the sun? Allegedly admitted to drugging Doe with a date rape drug on multiple occasions, though erection enabling. The lawsuit also claims Doe, it's funny the way the sentence is written, Doe was given an erection enabling pharmaceutical substance. Can't you just say Viagra or whatever? The lawsuit also claims Doe was given an erection enabling, that's funny, an erection enabling pharmaceutical substance. Oh, God. One of the first claims in the New York suit comes from May 2024 as Doe alleges Hajini dropped a pen on the floor next to his desk and then rubbed his leg and squeezed his calf as she picked it up. It sounds hot to me. He accuses her of then saying to him, "Oh, you did play basketball in college. I love basketball players. They get me so wet." This is already getting disgusting. The concerning advances quickly ramped up Doe claims. Weeks later, Doe says Hajdini invited him out for drinks, to which he quickly declined. She allegedly issued a chilling response saying, "If you don't F me soon, I'm going to ruin you. Never forget, I effing own you." Look, if that's in writing, she's done. But if he's just saying it, I don't believe it. It has to be in writing. It has to be texted. Hajdini allegedly asked to give him oral sex in the office, as the legal filings claim. She said, "Birthday BJ for the brown boy, my little brown boy." Did she say this, or did she write this in a text? Repeatedly groping around the groin at a work social event, spitting in her hands before rubbing it over his neck. She's a disgusting, if this is true. The suit alleges Hajdini said during the same event, "You're going to need to earn it, my little Arab boy toy." Doe also claims Hajdini used her executive status to gain unauthorized access to all his bank accounts. What? This allowed her to track his every move, the suit claims? He rejected her advances before she started to verbally attack him and his wife. You want to get promoted? You want a future at JP Morgan? It's that simple. I don't know why you're fighting this, allegedly. Before allegedly adding, "I'll bet your little Asian fish head wife doesn't have these cannons." If this is true, this is really crazy stuff. Moments later, Doe accuses, I'm reading this because I can't, it's the only thing I'm reading today that interests me. Moments later, Doe accuses his superior of forcibly removing his pants and performing oral sex on him against his will. How do you forcibly remove a man's pants? Does that make sense to you? You just slap the sex maniac away. He says he started to cry and was again verbally abused, according to the suit. Stop effing crying. You think anyone would ever believe you? You're an effing douchebag who thinks he's hot, but you can't even get your D hard from me. What the F is this? This lawsuit alleges. He claims he was then forced to perform oral sex on the accused out of embarrassment and humiliation, according to legal filings. What is this? In the alleged encounter, Doe claims he said, "I'm very uncomfortable. Please, Lorna, please, I'm begging you." I'm quoting now. A witness cited in the complaint is overhearing the alleged sexual abuse taking place as they were staying in the adjoining room. Okay, this is a crazy story. The Sun has contacted Hajdini for comment. That's the newspaper. In May 2012, Doe delivered a written complaint to JP Morgan's HR team detailing what he described as race and gender-based discrimination, harassment, and a pattern of severe sexual abuse. The suit sees him allege he was sent anonymous threatening phone calls from individuals he believes are acting on behalf of Hajdini and others in the company. One caller allegedly told him, "Just wait till you're back in New York, brown boy. You better stay away, snitch," unquote. Wow. Another caller allegedly threatened to contact U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement about him and his family. He was later reprimanded and locked out of all company systems and placed on involuntary leave. JP Morgan Chase has denied Doe's claims, saying an investigation found no evidence to support his allegations. Oh. Hajdini is still employed at the company, but Doe left in late 2024. Doe is now seeking damages for law. Oh, my God. This is crazy. What a story. Morgan has denied Doe's claims, saying an investigation found no evidence to support his allegations. So it's a she said, he said. Hajdini, the woman, is still employed at the company, but Doe, the accuser, left in late 2024. Okay, I'll give you a judgment in 2 seconds. Let me get out the hammer. I don't buy it. If I'm to be the judge of this from the outside, it sounds like another classic racial harassment claim from another minority in a company, and They'll settle with him and sweep it under the rug. They got so much money to burn at these companies. They can just get rid of those suits as fast as they can. Okay. Kubrick daughter downloads on Erica Kirk. Not interested. Why are they attacking Erica Kirk? Can't they leave her alone? They're jealous of her, all these women. And, women are so catty. If any woman rises in our society, other women try to rip her down. They're like cats. They rip each other's skin off. Survey, 6 in 10 try to avoid Trump news. That's why I read the sex story. People who just tuned in and said, what's this show I'm on? What is this, a sex show? Carbon pollution making food less nutritional. That's United Flight strikes drone 3,000 feet over San Diego, ? Attacks on... Trump said oil pipelines will explode. A third of Americans having existential crisis. I don't understand that one. What's an existential crisis? What does that mean? Comes up with a phrase like that. What, they're nervous? Because they think they're going to lose their job because they have no secure job security? I lived with it my whole life. So I guess I had an existential crisis my whole life because I was running around like what makes Sammy run, trying to make a living because of affirmative action and the bias in our hiring system. Mills drops Maine Senate campaign paving way for Plattner. I'm not interested. Maine has become a total left-wing sad. It used to be a real rock-rib Republican state. Then the vermin moved in from Boston. All the Bernie Sanders communists and destroyed Maine. Well, that's it. Kubrick daughter down. I'm interested in movies, so I'll click on it. The Kubrick daughter story interests me because he was great. I don't know who she is. Vivian Kubrick. Oh, she's trying to be relevant by attacking Erica Kirk. Okay, I get it. And growing up in the entertainment industry, I've been around a lot of phonies, so I can't be in any way sorry for stating this clearly. I'm too concerned and generally worried at Mrs. Erica Kirk as a threat to my country. She feels absolutely like a military or intelligence operative and definitely some kind of sociopath. Why is she doing this? She said Erica made her skin crawl? I don't get this. I don't understand this. Why is she attacking Erica Kirk? Why are they all against Erica Kirk? What is this internet? It's an irrational hatred for Erica Kirk. Why do they hate her so much? Why do they hate Erica Kirk? I don't understand this. So let's say she's a little facile, so what? But Vivian Kubrick has to chime in on this too? The daughter of film director Stanley Kubrick? She wrote the film score for Full Metal Jacket and made the Making of the Shining documentary. She wrote the film score. What do you mean? She scored for the film or she made the film score? That's a hard one to reach. So she wrote the music or she scored for the people who were on the film? She wrote the film score or she scored for the film? Oh, she wrote the film score for Full Metal Jacket. I'm not sure I like that movie. It wasn't one of my favorite Kubrick movies. Okay, I think that's enough on that one. Let's get rid of that story, Kubrick. Is there anything else in the news that you want me to talk about? I would like you to interview Erica Kirk. She wouldn't come on my podcast. She's too big for me. I'm just a guy, I'm in semi-retirement. That's all. At one point, I was in the top 3 of radio. I mean, I'm not looking to be number 1 anymore. It's okay. It's okay to go down slowly, It's like I'm on a down slope now. I'm slowly sliding down that slope of my life. It's like, not that, like that. Gliding. I'm gliding. I'm doing it on my terms. That's how I want to do it. If God is good to me, he will let me glide on my own glide path. If not, God will do what he wants. That's what God does. That's why he's God. It's good to be God. But we're not God. We think we can control everything. Get up every morning, take a deep breath and say, thank you, God, for giving me another day. And I'll try to, as I said to you before I close, now I'm getting near the end. I could feel already. I've run out of ideas. I don't even want to talk anymore. I'm never going to go on a site on Google to look for. I looked for a lamp a week ago. That's all I see on every site I go on now. All like fake Tiffany lamps. I don't want to look at them anymore. I looked for olive oil. Now it's olive oil. I bought the worst olive oil in my life on Amazon. I was tricked. I know now. I shouldn't have done it. Normally, I would buy in a supermarket. I like Spanish olive oil. It's terrible. It has no taste. Then you read the fine print, which you couldn't find on Amazon. It was not from Spain. It's like Spanish-like. Inflation spikes to 3.5%. Not good. Amazon discusses Apprentice reboot with Don Jr. as host. I don't understand this. There used to be a thing called nepotism where people had at least a sense not to appear like it was nepotism. How could they do this? 14 seasons after Donald Trump first told contestants they were fired, Amazon execs are reportedly exploring whether his eldest son can breathe new life into the franchise. I wish him the best of luck. Okay. But I would think, and I'm going to say it point blank, it's not going to engender any love from the Trump family for me. Cool it a little bit while your father's in office. That's all. It's not going over well with the American people. It's that simple. We have enough trouble with the communists like Bernie Sanders. We don't need to give them any fodder here. Amazon, okay. I like Amazon. I unfortunately, I shop for everything now on Amazon except food. I needed, for example, the other day when I got the coffee and had it ground up in the market, I needed a jar. I don't have a jar. So I'm going to go to a hardware store and I would talk to some hostile clerk who hates his job about a mason jar. I wouldn't even go in there. I went on to Amazon. In 3 seconds, I found an Amazon, a jar for $4.99. You have to go down because at the top it's like $12.99 and $39.99 for a jar. And I come from a poor family. I don't do that. I found a wonderful glass jar with a wood top with a rubber thing for $3.99. It was here the next morning. By the time you finish ordering, it's in your driveway. I don't know how. This guy is so smart, the Amazon guy. I don't like his look. I don't like the muscles showing off for an old Jewish. He's not. Is he Jewish? Got another one? No, I don't think so. He's a genius on deploying things in your driveway before you finish ordering them. I could do without him and his wife showing off every minute on another $5 million second, $50 million this, a $50 million car, a $500 million yacht. Not interested. Keep it to yourself. Nobody wants to see you showing off when they can't fill their gas tank. Oil hits wartime high. This is so worrisome. If you wake up and there's ground troops in Iran, what are you going to do? Say MAGA? MAGA. Over there. Come on, boys, let's get it over with. Over the hill we go. No, you won't. They won't be going. The sons won't be going, but your sons will be going. Over there. The Yanks are coming. The Yanks are coming. How much is oil today? Let me see how much it is today. It's terrible what's going on with oil. Oil sinks from 4-year high as war fears vie with economic hit. Sinks from 4-year high. Brent crude. I like that. When you say Brent crude, there's a certain visceral feel to Brent crude. Then there's another oil that's sweet. Brent crude fell after hitting a 4-year high in a session marked by thin trading volumes as the front future contract headed for expiry. Okay, sad, terrible. Ooh, trade below 114 a barrel after earlier surpassing 126. The highest since the aftermath of Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 22. Oh, that's bad. Volatility. Some traders suggested prices were moving closer in line with the next lower price July contract. Closure of the Strait of Hormuz sent energy prices surging. But some of the world's top oil traders have warned the shock will also erode demand. Okay, so if they erode demand, then the thing shouldn't go up that high. Futures rally earlier when Axios reported the head of U.S. Central Command, Admiral Brad Cooper, would brief U.S. President Trump on military options, signaling a resumption of combat operations is seriously under consideration. Iran remained defiant. Oh, no. Here we go again. We're broke already. So if we could go a little more broke. You remember when this started in Ukraine and we got involved with $200 billion to Ukraine and Zelensky with the undershirt guy? Who still hasn't bought a used suit in Filene's basement in Ukraine. There must be one Filene's basement left somewhere in Romania that he can find a suit that fits him. He still appears with that stupid T-shirt to make himself look like he just came off the front. Can't they tell these Ukrainians how to dress when they come here begging for money? Put on a suit and tie, man. Don't come here with an undershirt. The Martinet look didn't sell. Anyway, to go back to that, I remember that time when the oil was spiking. Brent June contract. Most open interest is now in the July contract, which fell one put to 108 a barrel. The yen surged as much as 3%. I'm not into this. I mean, I don't gamble, but this is really frightening. People say this. Here's the question. The U.S. produces the most oil in the world, so why are the gasoline prices so high? It's simple. Apparently, we produce the kind of oil that we can't refine because the communists in the country destroyed all of our oil refineries, and now they're trying to get rid of the few that remain. The Bernie Sanders leftist scumbags, okay, who want you to like be flying on a windmill somewhere. We can't even refine the oil that we produce here in this country. Can you believe this? The U.S. is the world's largest oil producer and the top global exporter of gasoline, you hear? Yet Americans are paying the highest prices for gasoline in 4 years. And we're asking why. The U.S. Israeli war with Iran, you're not allowed to say Israeli, and the energy shocks it has produced are only part of the reason. Crude futures prices, Bruno, were on the rise again on Wednesday as the stalemate this is from last week, and the deal fully opened in the water room. The cost of crude is the largest part of gasoline's retail price, clocking in about a half the price of a gallon of gas. Federal and state taxes, marketing, distribution costs, and refining costs and profits make up the rest. Okay, but the main reason is that we can't refine our own crude oil. That's the real problem because the communists made sure we were crippled in that regard. They wanted you to, switch to bicycles. If you wanted to go, let's say, from New York to Buffalo in the winter, you should ride a bicycle in the snow, according to the Bernie Sanders types. They're geniuses. Much of the U.S. refining system is configured to run heavier crude like the type that comes from Canada. Glad we started a fight with Canada. That made sense. Which exports the vast majority of its oil to the U.S. Boy, that was a fight. I talk to people. I meet them. They know I'm in the business, so they are all Trump supporters, but they say, why did he have to start a fight with Canada? What's the obsession with Greenland? Why did he get us in a war with Iran? I hear this from people who are conservatives. Don't get me wrong. I'm giving it to you from the street. If you don't like it, it's too bad. Much of the U.S. refining system is configured to run heavier crude like the type that comes from Canada, which exports the vast majority of its oil to the U.S. Good. So now fight with Canada so they stop exporting it to us. Call them every name under the sun. That means the U.S. still imports crude to optimize refinery runs while exporting lighter crude and refined products. I knew that. Refiners in the U.S. have invested billions of dollars over the past decades to enable the processing of heavy sour crudes into usable refined products like gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Okay, that makes sense. The U.S. also has lost refineries and refining capacity also has been reduced due to aging infrastructure and stricter environmental standards. Bernie Sanders. During the pandemic, weaker margins led several plants to close or to convert to biofuels. There's also the switch to less polluting summer gasoline formulation. Summer gas is refined in a way that reduces emissions and smog, but is also costly to make. It's ingenious. The geniuses in the engineering business are astounding to me. I don't have that kind of head. There's such geniuses in all fields of engineering, it's hard to believe. I don't have that kind of mind. A math mind. I don't have a math mind. I'm smart in some ways and not smart in others. That's all. Geniuses to create these things that could crack and convert. So there's your answer. There's your answer. Gas prices are likely to move higher, no less, as the peak summer season approaches. You hear this? People are likely locked into summer plans. So in other words, they're bad now. They're going to get worse later. Listen, I remember the last on the Jimmy Carter when people were putting extra bladders in their trunks. I don't mean valise. I mean in the trunk of the car. They were selling fuel bladders that were put in the trunk of their car because you were on a line to get gas and you're only allowed to fill it up like once every whatever. And we'd fill a tank and then we'd fill the bladder in the trunk for more gas. It's coming soon. But don't worry, it's good. It's good for MAGA. And it'll help the ballroom. That's the important thing. I love all the guys who are never going to be invited to the ballroom in their whole lives. They want the ballroom. First they said, well, it's going to be paid for by private. No, then we found out yesterday. No, yesterday they said, no, we don't want it paid. Lady Lindsey Graham said, no, we want the taxpayers to pay for it. It's called a ballroom sleight of hand. That's all. Hey, don't worry about it. It's being paid for by private. And then next thing, no, it's coming out of the taxpayers. Over there, or the Yanks are coming. The Yanks are coming. Look, I'm not Edgar Allan Poe. I'm Michael Savage. And I'm looking down the barrel of a microphone with you. And if you like what you see and you see what you like, follow Mike. And that, my friends, is a wrap, as they say in L.A. Bye-bye. Thanks for being with me.
Savage.
Well, thank you very much for listening to today's podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it and learned something from it. We have about 400 other episodes available for you to listen to absolutely free. You can go back into our vast library of podcasts and listen to any one of them at any time. And remember this, if you want to listen to my podcast ad-free, sign up for the Savage Premium membership and get access to ad-free podcasts as well as some premium content from our Savage archives. How do you sign up for those ad-free podcasts? Please visit michaelsavage.com for a link. Again, thank you for your listenership. This is Michael Savage.